There's no temptation at all to get back out there? A Clipse reunion would be massive. The money you could make and the...
He wasn't interested at all. So that's when I knew it was real.
They can't invent a dollar amount to get me out there.
You know, people keep asking me about this Clipse album. I've been very clear, I've been very consistent from the beginning. I don't know why I have to keep answering this question, but I don't do that music anymore.
He was like, I'm not doing another Clipse album right now. Wow.
I can't tell anybody anything about selling drugs anymore. I can't even make it look cool anymore.
I am not doing another Clipse album. Be very clear.
But do you have a hunch, maybe deep down, that the Clipse will get back together in some form someday? What would have to happen for that to happen?
I don't have a hunch, but I hope and pray that happens. I hope and pray that happens in one way or another.
Phenomenal. Come on! That's how you do it. That's how you do it, bud. Clipse! Let God sort them out! Is out now!
DJ 91.
Hello there, this is DJ 91, back with another video. And to finish off the year, I'm going to be talking about the Clipse reunion and how they easily had the biggest comeback of 2025. Not just for hip-hop, but for music in general. Their triumphant return was a comeback that the hip-hop culture had been waiting for and desperately needed. In a crucial time where it now seems to be lacking substance, where it seems to be falling off the charts, where it seems to be heading in no direction, where it seems to be a quote-unquote young man's sport, Clipse killed all that noise with their critically acclaimed and highly receptive fourth album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, this past summer. But first, let's rewind to the beginning and how they got here. Before I continue any further, don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Just 2 clicks, it won't cost you a thing. This is YouTube, not OnlyFans. It's free to subscribe and watch videos on here. Now, let's get into the content. Pusha T and Malice, both brothers coming out of Virginia, would start their careers in the 90s. By then, they had already met the up-and-coming production duo, the Neptunes, consisting of Chad Hugo and Pharrell, who already had their foots in the door. Pharrell would help Clipse get a record deal with Elektra. They would work on their debut album, Exclusive Audio Footage, which was slated to drop on April 28, 1999, but ended up getting shelved after the first single didn't catch any fire. The world just wasn't ready for Clipse at the time. They would end up getting dropped by the label, but Pharrell refused to give up on the duo. He saw the vision. Both him and Chad Hugo would start up their own label, Star Trek Entertainment. They would sign Clipse to the label and receive major label distribution via Arista Records. 2002, they would drop their elusive debut album, Lord Willin', which debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200 and went gold, with hits like Grindin', When the Last Time, and My I Don't Love Her. Finally, the duo had gotten their big break and started to look like Virginia's Mobb Deep. 4 years later, through label drama and multiple delays, they would drop their critically acclaimed second album, Hell Hath No Fury, which debuted at number 14 on the Billboard 200, turning away from radio-friendly records and going into a more darker direction with the music, with songs like Mr. Me Too and Wamp Wamp What It Do. By the end of the decade, they would drop their third album, Till the Casket Drops, in 2009. But this album did worse, only debuting at number 46 on the Billboard 200. And musically, it just wasn't the same, as it didn't live up to the standards of their first 2 albums. This would soon turn out to be their last album for the immediate future, as the duo would split up and go their separate ways. Malice would walk away and convert to Christianity, changing his name to No Malice, leaving Pusha T with no choice but to go solo, and he would make the most of it. He had signed with Kanye's Good Music label in 2010, with the Def Jam machine behind him. Before dropping his solo debut album, he would build up a buzz with 2 mixtapes and an EP. Then, in 2013, he would finally drop My Name Is My Name. It was critically acclaimed with widespread reception, debuting at number 4 on the Billboard 200. Over the following years, Pusha T would continue to have success as a solo artist. In 2015, he dropped his second album, King Push, Darkest Before Dawn, The Prelude, which debuted at number 20 on the Billboard 200. In 2018, he would drop his third album, Daytona. It had debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 and received a Grammy nomination for Best Rap Album. Even on his own, Pusha T was able to make a name for himself. But before we continue any further with Pusha T, let's circle back to No Malice. With his newfound Christian faith, he was anti-secular hip-hop and opted to only do Christian rap with no cursing, and still had the understanding support of Pusha T. No Malice would drop his solo debut album, Hear Ye Him, in 2013, where Pusha T makes an appearance on a song called Shame the Devil. The following year, No Malice did an interview with Rapzilla, where he was asked if he would do another Clipse album, to which he emphatically said no, shutting down any hopes of a comeback. A few years later, he would continue to do music and drop his second album, Let the Dead Bury the Dead, in 2017. On a song called Fake News, he denounces his previous Clipse songs in a few bars by saying, "Remember Prince, told you it's a catch to it. Take my catalog, I just soon set a match to it. Money like a side chick, I ain't that attached to it." In 2019, the Clipse would actually reunite on a song called Use This Gospel on Kanye's 9th album, Jesus is King, making it their first appearance together in 6 years. At this point, it totally made sense considering where No Malice was in his life. The only way some sort of Clipse reunion would happen is if it's on No Malice's terms. However, in 2022, we would start getting serious signs of an actual Clipse comeback. That year, Pusha T would drop his chart-topping 4th album, It's Almost Dry, on April 22nd. On the final track of the album called I Pray For You, No Malice makes an appearance. And wait, hold on, he changed his name back to Malice? Oh snap, he's back. A few months later in the month of April, Malice would join Pusha T on stage at the 2022 BET Hip Hop Awards, making it their first on-stage performance together in God knows how long, probably over a decade at this point. In 2023, rumors of a new Clipse album started to percolate after an unreleased song by the duo premiered at a Louis Vuitton fashion show at which they both walked the runway for. The rumors turned out to be true as it was announced that they were back in the studio cooking up for a new album, with Pharrell handling the production. Behind the scenes, they were able to keep things hush and not let out too much details. They had first signed to Def Jam and the album was originally planned for a 2024 release. But one of the songs had a Kendrick Lamar feature, who at the time was feuding with Drake. Most likely because of this, Def Jam and his parent company, UMG, demanded for the verse to either be censored or removed. Otherwise, the album wouldn't be released. Another setback for the duo, but they have been through label drama before and have been able to overcome it. But this time, it would take a huge financial sacrifice. Pusha T would end up having to pay an undisclosed 7-figure amount out of his own pocket to get themselves out the deal, plus a percentage of the profits off the new album. But this gamble would pay off. They were free to do what they want and release the album themselves, also with the help of Jay-Z through a partnership with Roc Nation Distribution. And then, the day would finally come. A year later, July 11th, 2025, Clipse would finally drop their long-awaited 4th album, Let God Sort 'Em Out. Their first album in 16 years. The album was met with widespread critical acclaim, bringing what rap had pretty much been missing the whole year. Bars, no nonsense, dope lyrics, immaculate production, and most importantly, real authentic hip-hop music. Not only that, the album was also a commercial success. It debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200 with first week sales of 118,000 units. Identical to the commercial success of their first album, Lord Willin'. It's as if they had never left. That same week, both Travis Scott and Justin Bieber dropped, and for the Clipse to be right up there with them in the top 5 is highly impressive, proving that there's still a demand for lyricism in today's hip-hop climate, and also killing the hip-hop is a young man's sport narrative, with Pusha T being 48 and Malice being 53. Out of this album, they were able to lock in some hits. The lead single, Ace Trumpets, reached number 78 on the Hot 100, making it their first appearance on the chart since 2002. The second single, So Be It, reached number 62 on the Hot 100. The third and final single, Chains and Whips, featuring Kendrick Lamar, reached number 42 on the Hot 100. Also, the rollout for the album was executed to perfection. It was a traditional, yet very complex rollout. Dropping music videos for the singles, the Louis Vuitton fashion show appearances, the Tiny Desk performance, and all the interviews they've done. Showing up on large platforms like The Breakfast Club, Joe Budden Podcast, Joe and Jada, Big Boy TV, Apple Music, and more. They kept it old school while adapting to the new school, which was the recipe for their successful comeback. They never felt too big to perform at a block party and never felt too small to perform at the Vatican, a stage that no rapper has ever stepped on before. The duo would also go on tour for the album a month after its release, with more dates lined up for 2026. And thanks to their new comeback album, the duo would become Grammy nominated for the first time ever, receiving nods for Best Rap Album, Best Rap Performance, Best Music Video, and Album of the Year, with the winner still yet to be determined as of this recording. With all that being said, no doubt Clipse hands down had the best comeback of the year, and arguably the best comeback of the decade so far. And we've seen some all-time highly anticipated hip-hop comebacks happen before, like Dr. Dre in 2015, A Tribe Called Quest in 2016, Busta Rhymes in 2020, and Clipse in 2025 is definitely up there, and also in the talks for maybe, just maybe, the best of all time. Right now, it seems like they will continue this train and drop more music together. Maybe Pusha T would never have to go solo again. Anyways, that concludes this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. More content on the way. Music, travel, gaming, sports, and random content all in one. Peace, y'all, and I'm out.
DJ 91.